Kia ora. I thought that I would use this garden setting to do this flow or this almost like a workshop to learn about baby grasshopper pose, which is a real favorite of mine and something that inspires for me creativity. So this could be a good little flow or sequence or practice to do if you'd like to get yourself into that creative space. It's also it's a bit of a challenge, so if you're not a regularly practicing yogi, you might find getting into this posture really challenges you physically, or maybe it even just challenges you mentally. It's something fun that you can then come back to time and again and sort of see where you've improved, or if you can come into it more easily. So yeah, a real favorite of mine, and I look forward to taking you through it. It's going to be short and sweet. We'll do a warm up to get the body moving and then access the pose from the simplest way that there is to get into that position, and then I'll go through a flow where we move into that pose. So it'll be lots of fun. We'll begin still by centering and grounding. So bring yourself into a comfortable seat, whether or not that's cross-legged, or you can sit as I am with your legs folded. Just make yourself cozy in your seat and then softly close down your eyes. As you inhale, allow yourself to grow a little taller through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, feel connected to the earth, to the space where you are seated. Next time, as you inhale, focus on an expansion across the chest space. Maybe draw your shoulders up, back and down. And again, as you exhale, connecting to the ground beneath you. Become aware of any sounds in the air around you. Be grateful for the sense of hearing. Become aware of any sensations across the surface of your skin. Be grateful for the sense of touch. Become aware of your emotional state, any feelings that are arising as you sit here, and be grateful for your ability to experience emotion and feeling. Finally, become aware of the sensation of your breath, the filling of the belly, the diaphragm, the heart space, the upper chest with air on every inhalation, and that relaxing quality of your out-breath, your exhale, where the belly deflates, the breath leaves the lungs, the heart space, the upper chest. Be grateful for your ability to breathe, that constant life force. And then gently fluttering the eyes open, and just notice what you can see, what you can take in visually, and be grateful there for your ability to see. To warm up the body, first we'll gently take the fingertips of our right hand down to the mat beside us. On an inhale breath, lift and reach the left arm overhead, so really stretching down that left side of the body. Draw the left shoulder back and the right shoulder forward, looking up to the ceiling, to the sky. Taking a big breath in again, and then as you exhale, leaning into whatever space your body has created for you here. Maybe the forearm of that right arm can come down to the earth. but stay grounded through your left sit bone. One more inhale here as you revolve your chest open to the sky. Exhale, let it go, and then inhale as you float back through the center line, and we'll change sides. Exhale as the left fingertips plant in line with your left hip, and now the right arm reaches up and overhead. Draw the right shoulder back, the left shoulder forward, ground down through that right sit bone. Maybe as you take another breath in and you let that breath go, you can lean into whatever space your body has allowed. Forearm perhaps coming to rest on the earth. Really expanding, feeling that deep stretch along the side of that right hip. Let it feel good. One more inhale here. Exhale, let it go, and then inhale, draw yourself back to a center line, and come now to hands and knees to a tabletop position. Check that the wrists are stacked underneath the shoulders, knees are hip distance apart. Tuck your toes under already here, so we're pressing through the balls of the feet. Inhale, breath, drop the belly and lift the gaze. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears, stretch the skin across your stomach. On your exhale breath, draw belly button to the back of the spine and curl your chin into your chest, arching like a cat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, find your arch, your cat posture. Really try and push the mat forward with your palms without lifting them. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. A little different this time. Exhale, curl belly button to the back of the spine, and also really push through the palms to take the hips back to the heels. Inhale, moving forward, shoulders in line with the wrists, and the belly drops, the gaze lifts. Exhale, curl belly button to the back of the spine and drive hips back towards the heels, chin into chest. One more like that. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale, curl belly button to the back of the spine, drive hips back to the heels. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts. This time as you exhale, curl belly button to the back of the spine and also hover your knees up off of the mat. Now drive again backwards, but this time instead of hips to heels, it's belly to the top of your thighs. Really pike up through your sit bones so that it's the highest point of your body, and right up onto the balls of your feet, so bent leg downward dog. On your next exhale breath, lower down through the heels as much as you can, lengthening the legs. In this downward dog, you can take whatever movements feel good, so maybe bending one leg at a time, maybe a little twist from side to side, and then flowing back to our tabletop position as we did before. So on an inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet. On an exhale, lower the knees down to the mat, knees stacked under the hips, shoulders are again in line with the wrists. Keep the toes tucked under as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, curl belly button to the back of the spine, push the mat away, hover your knees. And then inhale, drive the belly back towards the top of the thighs, and exhale, lower down through the heels. Start to move in a flow. So inhale, ripple forward balls of the feet. Exhale, lower the knees to the mat. Inhale, into your back bend. Exhale, curl belly button to the back of the spine, start to lift. Inhale, drive your belly back towards the top of your bent legs. Exhale, lower the heels. Now you can start to flow a little more quickly between these postures, moving with your breath, or if you are feeling like creating a little bit more heat in the body, you can simply flow between the two postures, one breath, one movement. So it would be inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, and then on your exhale, without forgetting all of the steps to this, bring yourself to the downward dog. And then inhale, ripple forward, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, lift back to the downward dog. and going between those a few times, engaging your core, feeling the work, the heat building in the shoulders. And let's do one more. And then lower the knees as well as the mat. Big toes together to touch. Melt your hips back to your heels. Bring your palms forward. Extended child's pose. So we've brought a little heat into the body now. I thought it was freezing outside, but I'm now thinking I can remove my jumper. Let's continue building that heat in a way that's really going to help us in this baby grasshopper pose. So first, bring yourself forward and back into a downward dog posture. And then very gently on an inhale breath, look forward between the hands and start to walk your feet up to meet them. Pause here at the end of your mat in a ragdoll posture, so bending the knees generously, allowing the belly to come to rest on top of the thighs, and then drawing your elbows into your hands in a gentle sway here. Weight is in the heels, and then ground down your toes as well. Releasing the elbows now. Inhale as you ripple up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Draw the hips into line with the heart, roll the shoulders onto the back. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, hinge at your hips, folding all the way forward. Inhale to halfway lift, palms come to press in the front of your shins or above your knees. Lengthen your legs, extend your arms, drive your heart forward, and again create a small back bend similar to our cow posture earlier. Take the gaze just out in front of you so you have a long neck. Next, exhale, bend at the knees, fold all the way forward, and then inhale, rise to standing, arms lift, gaze lifts. Two more like that. Exhale, folding all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, rise to standing, look to the sky. Exhale, fold fully forward. Inhale, halfway lift, long legs push the heart through. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, press your palms, and then exhale, draw the hands down to your heart. Take a wide step so that we're bringing our legs as far apart as if you lifted your arms and pointed down where your fingers are pointing to on the mat. Have softness in the knees so we're not locking out the legs. And from here, we'll flow side to side into lateral lunge positions to really warm up our legs. So inhaling into the center and then exhale as you bend first into your left leg. Now there's two options here. You can just flow from side to side, keeping the feet grounded, or for a little extra challenge, a little extra burn into the legs, flow, drop, sink into the hips, point your toes up towards the sky, flex that foot, and then if possible, without using your hands, pick up through the center line and switch sides. If you saw a little panic in my eyes there, it's because I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. My legs are quite sore. So especially if the legs are a little bit stiff, this might feel really challenging at first. You may want to start with just a few of the side to sides without the drop here. So you choose. But we want to warm up inner thighs. We want to warm up through the glutes, through the hips, and flow with the breath. So exhale, sink. Inhale, center. Exhale, sink. Inhale, center. You might be up here. Exhale, sink. Inhale, center. Exhale, sink. Also an option to just use your hand to support yourself as you flow from side to side. Or down here, if you'd like to practice these, use the pressure of the fingertips on the mat to help you flow from side to side. A couple more. We should be really warming up now, maybe even starting to breathe a little bit more heavily. And last one. Come back to center and lift. Final position we'll take here, wide-legged forward fold. Draw the feet in line with the toes, or maybe even slightly pigeon-toed, so the toes come in closer than the heels. Take the hands to the hips. Big inhale, bent knees, chest expands, and then exhale, hinge at your hips, stick your bottom out behind you, and come as far forward as you can while maintaining a flat, neutral spine. Then let your hands trail to the ground, or you might position some blocks to make your arms longer if you don't have the reach to meet the earth. And then we'll inhale, lengthen through the spine. Take the gaze slightly out in front of you, push your heart through. And then exhale, continue to hinge at the hips, keeping your lower back in alignment with your upper. So if you notice you're starting to hunch through the spine, please bring yourself a little bit higher. Exhale breath, folding forward. And then from here, push into the outer edges of your feet and extend your sit bones, your hips up towards the sky as far as you can. And we'll hold here for 4 nourishing breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. Hands come to the hips, and on an inhale, drive through the feet, lift up with a flat back. Heel toe your feet in towards one another. We're going to come down towards the earth, and we'll do so through a vinyasa to keep the body warm. Inhale, arms lift, gaze lifts. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding all the way forward. Inhale to your halfway lift, exhale and fold. Inhale, press your palms into the mat, step one foot behind you, followed by the other, arrive in high plank. A few breaths here, feeling the core warm, the heat in the body. Wrapping your abdominals around with each exhale breath, drawing your belly button to the back of your spine. Strong core. One more breath in, and then as you exhale, lower down to the mat. Knees followed by the chest, followed by the chin. Inhale, press your palms into the mat, lift your chest. Maybe extend the arms long or keep them bent for a low cobra. One more inhale here, and then exhale, lower down. Inhale, press your palms into the mat, lift, this time all the way up to your knees, and then press your hips back to your heels, child's pose. From here, we will come into our first baby grasshopper. So extend the legs out in front of you, swing them around. I'll try facing this way, I think, to set up. So legs are extended, feet are flexed. First, let's bend and hug our right leg in towards the body. Give it a squeeze, and you can pause here for a few breaths, just letting that hip flexor relax, and think about engagement here of the glutes underneath to provide a little lift. Stay active through this left leg. So we start thinking already about the engagement of the muscles that we're going to use for this pose. Then we'll take that right foot, cross it over the extended left leg. So this foot needs to be grounded, and this is where I am going to have to turn so that you can better see. Grounded, and it will be out on a little bit of an angle here. This foot is going to become the first of our supports that we will lean into in this posture. This foot needs to be in line, our right foot, with our left hand. So the next step is to ground our left hand, point the index finger forward, turn your elbow crease so it faces outward, and check that that wrist is in line with that shoulder. This will be your second support. Next step is to flex even further and activate through your left foot. We're going to connect our right hand to our left foot. If you can't reach, options are to engage a strap, wrap it around the bottom of the foot. You can connect your peace fingers around your big toe, or you might be able to reach around to the outer edge of that foot. Yes, outer edge. All right. We want to connect to the foot and then drop our right shoulder as far down as we can towards the mat. Then we start to lean into the support of the right foot and the left hand, and we lift. Up comes off of the ground that left leg. Look also to the left hand side and hold for 3, 2, 1. Pop the leg down. Let's change sides. So this time, feels good. This time, this is our cat Tony, by the way. We don't see her very often anymore. She half lives with the neighbors, so it's nice of her to show up. Let's come to the other side. You might notice the sides are a little bit different. So we'll bend now our, which one did I show you for first? We'll bend now our left leg. Really hug it in, squeeze it to the chest, feel that hip flexor release a little bit, just with this beautiful bend. And then preparing for baby grasshopper pose on the other side. So your left leg now will cross over your extended right leg. We're still thinking about creating that solid foundation right from the beginning, so pressing down through the ball and heel of that foot. And you might want to pause a moment here for a few breaths, linking your arms around that bent leg, hugging it in towards you. That might create a release through the psoas muscle in that left leg that allows you to go deeper into this pose. So you don't need to rush it when we're just sitting up and learning the foundations of this posture. And you know what's coming next this time, no surprises here. Let's release through the arms. Place your right hand down now in line with that grounded left foot. Point your index finger forward, rotate so that the crease of your elbow faces outward, and check that the wrist is stacked underneath the shoulder. Solid foundation. Think about where you're heading. We're going to lean into these two as supports, so we want them to be strong. Now you might wish to roll slightly onto the outer edge of your right hip at this point to allow you to come across the front of the bent left leg more easily. Looking towards this right foot here, extending your left arm in front of that bent leg and connect with the foot. Maybe it's peace fingers to the toe, maybe you're utilizing a strap or a scarf or tie or something. Maybe you're able to connect to the outer edge of the foot. Again, you might even rotate now a little more deeply onto the outer edge of that right leg to allow you to already come down towards the earth, and you can rise from this position here. So leaning into your supports, and we pick up that foot. Really flex the foot, so use the leverage between the palm and the foot to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, and relax, release, uncurl. You can extend the legs out long, just give them a wee pump out. I hope you've had some fun playing around with that. You might have achieved something that you didn't think you could. I'll take you now on a journey, a flow, where we incorporate that position. Now, if you couldn't manage that baby grasshopper pose, it doesn't mean that you can't do this flow. Just come with us right up until the point when we pop into baby grasshopper, and you can take another position in a child's pose, a lovely forward fold, whatever feels comfortable to you in that moment. So first, let's bring ourselves back into a downward dog, and we'll do it in a very heating way to get our body warm quickly through a jump back vinyasa. So first, cross your legs, one in front of the other, and then lean forward so that the palms press onto your mat, and we'll jump legs back to a plank position. Inhale, breath here, and then exhale, pike the hips, push back to a downward dog, looking forward between your hands. That's where we'll be headed. Just take a moment now though to flow or move in whatever way feels good for you after what we've been doing, and start thinking about getting a little heat back into the body. So maybe you're adding some more dynamic movements, maybe a little echo of the warm-up that we did earlier, and then preparing your energy for practice. Bring your left foot in towards the center line of the mat. Inhale, extend your right foot to the sky, flex the foot, drive it behind you through the palms. One more inhale, reach long, and then exhale, bend that right knee, pike your hips, and then plant that right foot forward between your hands. Check your right knee is in line with your right ankle. Inhale and rise into a low lunge position. Tuck your tailbone under. That might mean that a greater bend happens in your back leg. Let it happen. Inhale, lift your gaze to the sky, spread your fingers wide. Exhale, float the hands down behind you, interlace your fingers, push heels of the palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift your chest. Exhale as you swivel slightly on the ball of that left foot, plant the left heel, and then bow to the top left corner of the mat, humble warrior. Crown of the head is coming down towards the mat, chin tucks in towards the chest. Allow an opening of the shoulders to occur. Inhale as you rise back up to warrior one, hips point forward. Exhale now as you flow into warrior two, so swing on the ball of the left foot, left toes open up to face the longer edge of your mat, along with your hips, mostly facing in that direction, just depending on how your hips feel. Maybe we can open our warrior two a little wider, so see if it feels comfortable for you to take that left leg further back. So eventually you might have a parallel here between your right thigh and the mat. Relax the shoulders down away from your ears. Gaze fiercely along your right arm to your right index finger. Inhale, reach beyond the right toes. Exhale, flip your palm and then lean back, reverse warrior. Gaze up to the sky. One inhale here where you draw your right shoulder back, your left shoulder forward. And then exhale, windmill the arms back to upright. As we start to reach now into a balanced pose towards the front of the mat, transfer your body weight first onto the tippy toe of the left foot. I'll just shuffle back to make sure I have enough room. Onto the tippy toe first of that left foot. Find the balance. See if you can pop that left foot up off of the mat and then swing it forward, and we'll cross that left foot over the right. So we're now in a cross-legged position on the mat, and this is where we're going to this time access our baby grasshopper pose from. So bear with me. I hope this works out. First, take an inhale breath and lift, gaze to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips and start to fold forward, and let yourself bend quite generously here through the knees. We'll then kick our right foot into our left hand, and I want you to catch it in the same way that you were performing the pose earlier. So perhaps on the outer edge of the foot, or perhaps using the peace fingers around the toe, or if you need to use the strap, now's the time to grab it. Try and draw the knees really in line with one another. Now looking at your left foot, we need to place our right palm in line with the left foot So out to the right hand side to create that stable base, that structure for our baby grasshopper pose. So index finger points forward, elbow crease swings out, wrist is in line with the shoulder, and then we lower down, baby grasshopper. Try and draw the left shoulder in front of that bent leg. Hold there for a few breaths, and then gently roll onto the base of the right sit bone. And then inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, hug around that bent left leg and look over your left shoulder. Flex your right foot. So that's it, that's the flow. And if you didn't get the baby grasshopper and you're just joining us here in this seated twist, give yourself some grace. These aren't easy poses. I didn't do this in one day. I got a great top the other day that says practice makes awesome instead of practice makes perfect. And I think that that really applies here, just practice. Don't worry if you can't do it for ages, don't worry if you never do it, but enjoy the journey, enjoy the practice. So let's unravel, unwind, and then let's just bring our legs back around, preparing for another jump back vinyasa. I'll just change sides, I think, for this one. So you didn't need to swivel around, just knee, cross the ankles, plant the palms forward, jump back to your plank posture. Big inhale here, draw belly button to the back of the spine, and then exhale, let the breath out as you pike your hips into your downward dog. Let's bring our right foot a little closer to the center line. Inhale, extend the left leg behind you, flex the foot and really drive it to create length through the body. One more inhale, and then as you exhale, bend that left knee, pike your hips to the sky, create as much room as you can to flick that left foot forward and plant it between your hands. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Tuck your tailbone under. Whatever bend happens in that back leg, let it happen. Check your left knee stacked over your left ankle. Arms are lifted, gaze is skyward. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears, energy shooting through your fingertips. One more big inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, float your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, push heels of the palms together and squeeze. Inhale again to expand the chest, and then exhale, swivel on the ball of the right foot and plant the right heel. Then look to that top right corner of the mat and bow, humble warrior. Now you might just be here, and that's fine. Try to avoid leaning onto the left leg though, and try and drive the left knee forward so it maintains that balance of knee over ankle. Maybe you can fall further into your humble warrior. Maybe your shoulders can open more. Tuck the chin into the chest to allow this opening to happen. One more inhale here, exhale here, and then inhale, rise back up. Point your hips forward by drawing your right hip around. Arms lift, warrior one. Exhale, swivel on the ball again of that right foot. Open your hips up as wide as they can to that long edge of the mat. So the right toes are also facing the longer edge of the mat. Now see if we can make this warrior two maybe a little deeper. Just heel toeing that back foot down the mat, aiming for a more parallel line between the left thigh and the mat. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears, fierce gaze down that left arm to your left index finger. So we're preparing this ferocity, this intensity that we want to bring with us into the attempt at the grasshopper pose. Let's start to find our balance, shift our body weight forward. So on an inhale breath, reach beyond your left toes. Oh, I've missed reverse warrior. Let's do that first. Reach beyond your left toes. Exhale, lean back into reverse warrior. Inhale, draw the left shoulder back, the right shoulder forward. And then exhale, windmill the arms back to upright. And now we shift, we balance. So just onto the tippy toe first of the right foot. Pop that right foot up off of the ground and then revolve through the hip to cross that right foot in front of the left.
Again, I'll just wriggle back a little bit here for you. So, knowing where we're going this time. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the gaze. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. And then we will get the knees as crossed as we can. We'll take the left hand down, just fingertips to the earth to begin with, but in line with your right foot. So you're preparing your base. Then kicking, bending at the knee, that left leg up off of the ground, wrap. So maybe it's peace fingers around the toe. Maybe you can create that wrap around the base of the foot. And then we start to sink, we start to lower. So maybe just bringing the knee down first and then press the palm, the left palm into the earth. Index finger points forward, twist your elbow crease out, wrist in line with the shoulder, and we pop. Ooh, I've got my hand in the wrong position. See, it happens. Draw the right shoulder down, look to the right hand side, and lean into those supports. One more inhale here, and then exhale, roll onto the sit bone of that left leg. Inhale, arms lift tall. Exhale, and we twist, hugging your left arm around the outer edge of your right thigh. Easy twist, flex the left foot. So well done. That was hopefully something fun to do. Maybe something new for you to put into your yoga practice. I hope that you enjoy it. Inhale now, lift. Exhale, release. Extend your legs long, give them a little release. And you're welcome to close your own practice with whatever you feel that you'd like to do now. Maybe you want to do it again and try a few more times, or you could go through that same flow we've just done a few more times. Just hit rewind on the video, or you may want to finish now with a beautiful shavasana or resting pose. Get yourself supported by pillows, take that time. If there's any other poses that you'd like me to go through or break down in a similar manner, I'd love to serve you by making that video for you. So just let me know by leaving a comment or flicking me a message. Thank you very much. Namaste, yogis. Enjoy what's left of your days.